So, who are these douchebags? Bert asked. I'm Bert, the greatest bass singer in the world. You can come down and see me at Grand Country most days. I decided to go ahead and introduce the others so we could get the game started. Everyone said their hellos, got their drinks, and got ready to play. All right, gentlemen, Wendy began. The game's 5-card stud. House rules apply. Usually a royal flush is the best hand in poker. Not in our games. Aces and eights win the pot here. In a paranormal poker game, nothing beats the dead man's hand. Wendy started dealing. Carl started smoking, and Bert started drinking. I was hoping alcohol would mellow Bert out. It did to a certain extent. The card game was pretty spirited, and conversation was light to begin with. We all just talked up simple stuff, staying firmly away from the more serious topics that had popped up lately. After a while, I got tired of blowing cigar smoke out of my face. You know, Carl, smoking's bad for you. It can ruin your lungs. That's not a problem. I can always put in a new set, Carl replied evenly. Well, it's a problem for some of the rest of us. I don't want to die on your secondhand smoke, I replied. I can get you some new ones. Be my pleasure, Carl replied with a smirk. Mo just sat and watched. I figured he was counting cards again. Mo isn't much of a talker unless he starts drinking. Bert was doing his best to make that happen. Than kept looking at Wendy and shaking his head. At least he was trying to be supportive now. It beat the constant arguing that Wendy's choices usually started. Hey, hairball, you want a drink? Maybe Doc'll share his firewater. Bert was a pinnacle of decorum as always. Sure, said Mo, if Carl is willing. Mo's voice was surprisingly soft for a creature so big. He really is a gentle soul. He just looks terrifying. Fine by me. I know Wendy has some more stocked back here. Carl handed over the bottle, which was a little over half full. Mo downed it in one pull. Guess I'll go grab a couple more bottles. I had a crap hand anyway. Carl folded and walked over to the bar. Mo raised after an enormous burp. Dude, I can taste that over here, exclaimed Bert. That was awesome. Bert then sucked down the rest of his Zima to try to match Mo's feet. He failed, probably because he was drinking Zima. How do you drink that shit? I asked Bert. And why do you have a stock of it? Wendy loves it. I try to keep it around for her. The flub on genders earned Than a quick glare. This stuff is the bomb! Best beverage ever made, stated Bert. As they spoke, I watched Carl down another fifth of whiskey. Good Lord, Carl, slow down. I don't know how you aren't hammered already. Is it some kind of supernatural thing? Not really. My liver is Irish, he said, as if that explained how he could put down massive quantities of hard alcohol. Okay, it actually did. The card game continued with Mo, unsurprisingly, winning most of the hands. After a couple of hours passed, along with a ridiculous amount of alcohol, a clearly hammered Bert looked over at Mo and said, Dingleberries, am I right? Mo looked confused by this random statement. You know, with all that hair everywhere? Mo still looked perplexed. For shit's sake, you know, you take a dump and little shit nuggets stick around. I figure Dingleberry's gotta be a bitch for you. Oh, yes, highly unpleasant, replied a tipsy Mo. I usually just grab a squirrel and take care of it. You wipe your ass with squirrels? That's awesome! I bet those little suckers get pissed. Bert was beside himself with joy, cackling so hard he could barely breathe. The ones that survive are generally unhappy, stated Mo. Mo was a very formal creature, probably due to his intellect. That comment stopped Bert in his tracks. You mean you shit so nasty it kills small forest creatures? Bert stated in awe. Pretty much, Mo returned as he downed some more whiskey. All Bert could do was sit there and stare. I was afraid he would start worshiping the legendary creature soon.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.